Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second film in our Music Men miniseries, Shine, from 1996, an Australian biopic directed by Scott Hicks, with Geoffrey Rush, Lynn Redgrave, and Armin Muller-Stahl. Hicks was inspired by a piece about David Helfgott, a child prodigy pianist, in the Adelaide Advertiser, which led him to attend one of Helfgott's recitals. From there, it took 10 years to fully develop the movie. Rush won the Best Actor Oscar in 1996 for his portrayal of the brilliant but troubled Australian pianist, who was born in Melbourne and traveled to London at age 19 for further training, against his father's wishes. The film was both financially and critically successful, earning $36 million on a budget of only $6 million and receiving good reviews. Roger Ebert rated Shine 4 out of 4 stars, stating, "There has been much talk about films whose filmmakers claimed they were based on true stories, but might have been lying. Here is a movie that is based on the truth beneath a true story." Steven Spielberg saw an early screening of Shine at a film festival and called it a great movie. Despite such reviews, Shine received its share of negative criticism, mainly from Helfgott's siblings, who felt that their father's relationship with David was inaccurately portrayed. Hicks responded to these naysayers by citing his extensive research with other Helfgott family members and with people who had musical connections with David in his early life. Some music critics claimed that Helfgott's musical talent was vastly inflated by the press, and that his attempted comeback in the 1990s revealed that he was actually not that talented. Despite these criticisms, Shine portrays some of David's early triumphs quite accurately. E.g., Isaac Stern heard David play while Stern was on a tour in Australia and offered to bring him to the United States. Conductor Daniel Barenboim greatly admired his talent, as did his instructors at the Royal College of Music, who referred to his talent as sheer genius. Filming took place in London for 2 weeks in 1995 at various sites including Trafalgar Square, the Royal Albert Hall, and the Royal College. The crew went on to Australia for 7 more weeks of filming at over 40 different sites, primarily in Adelaide in winter, where Rush had to dive into the ocean in bitter cold conditions, a scene which he hated. The first filming done in Adelaide was in a studio where Rush performed the mumblings for the film's opening credits. Hicks and Jan Sardi, his screenwriter, decided that the film would not be a documentary, instead creating a concerto-like structure for the screenplay, as an homage to Helfgott's triumphs with various concerti. Therefore, the film has 3 parts: a fast first section, a slower second section, and a fast third section. Rush took months of piano lessons to refresh skills he had acquired as a child. Therefore, it was unnecessary to use a hand double for shots that showed his hands at the keyboard. This allowed the cameraman more varied angles for filming, including reflections of his hands on the keys in the piano surface. Plot summary. David Helfgott was born into a Jewish family in Melbourne in 1947. As a young child, he exhibited great talent as a pianist, winning children's competitions early on. At age 14, David received his first offer from the Royal College of Music in London, but his father refused to allow it. Finally, David defied him and left for London at age 19. By all accounts, he did well musically, but the rigors of his education led to the emergence of acute schizophrenic tendencies, and he was hospitalized in a mental institution. Several years of struggles followed, during which he was in and out of hospitals until he returned to Perth, Australia in 1984. He supported himself with different gigs, including serving as a rehearsal pianist for a local opera company and playing in local cafes. In 1990, he was rediscovered by a local doctor who helped him get back on his feet, introducing him to his wife, Gillian Murray, an astrologer and numerologist. It's Murray whom some have credited with helping David to revive his concert career, while others have claimed she's some sort of Svengali who took control of his life, enabling him while also controlling access to him. Since the 1990s, David has made annual concert tours in Australia and occasional tours in Europe, and has made some recordings with RCA and other companies. Some critics have blasted these recordings, saying that the record companies are exploiting him, and that these performances show just how badly inflated his talent has been described. Today, at age 74, he lives with Gillian in a place called the Happy Valley, outside Ballingen in New South Wales. Helfgott was awarded the Medal of Honor of Australia in the 2021 Australia Day Honours. Fun facts about the film. Geoffrey Rush was the first actor to win a Best Actor Oscar, a Best Actor Golden Globe, a Screen Actors Guild Award, a BAFTA, and a Critic Choice Award, all for this one role. Scott Hicks said that the title Shine was inspired by Pink Floyd's track Shine On, You Crazy Diamond, written in tribute to their first band leader, Syd Barrett, who also suffered from mental illness. Several visual refrains appear through the film, underscoring emotions and connecting different time frames. For example, David's eyeglasses highlight his ability to see objective reality clearly at several points in the film. Another such device focuses on his hands, whether controlling the piano keys or flailing about in moments of panic. Also, aquatic imagery drawn from his interest in swimming helps to tie together different film segments, beginning with the opening images set in a rainstorm. The soundtrack is laden with many familiar classical works which David played, including pieces by Chopin, Liszt, Vivaldi, Beethoven, Rimsky-Korsakov, and Rachmaninoff. When John Gielgud was preparing to play the role of Parker, he talked about what his character would normally wear, even bringing items from his own personal wardrobe to delineate the character. When David talks to Catherine Pritchard in her house, a photo of her husband, Lieutenant Hugo Throssell, a World War I soldier who won the Victoria Cross at Hill 60 in Gallipoli, is seen on a shelf behind her. 3 actors play David Helfgott. Geoffrey Rush played the adult, Noah Taylor played the adolescent, and Alex Rafalowitz, at age 7, played the child. Hicks marveled at Alex's brilliant debut appearance, saying that he gave a very tender performance. Actor Noah Taylor prepared for the bar mitzvah scene by taking bar mitzvah lessons and practicing the Hebrew words with a cassette tape. Some scenes were photographed to resemble David's mind in a very fragmented style. For example, looking over his shoulder at other faces and ending with a shot of only one of his eyes. Gillian Helfgott has a cameo near the end of the movie, wearing blue and rising to applause at the lower left of the screen. There is a mezuzah on the door of Ben Rosen's house. Things to look for. Geoffrey's eyeglasses used as a plot device. The use of water imagery such as rainy scenes and swimming. Gillian Helfgott's cameo near the end of the film. Photos of Rush's hands at the piano while he plays. David's peculiar, mumbling, stumbling speech patterns over the opening credits as a reflection of his mental illness. The 3 different actors who portray David, including 7-year-old Alex Rafalowitz. John Gielgud's wardrobe choices. Catherine Pritchard's photo of her husband on the shelf in her home. The bar mitzvah scene. Odd shots, such as looking over David's shoulder at other actors' faces. Ben Rosen's mezuzah, and the stunning musical soundtrack, including some of Helfgott's own recordings. Now it's time to sit back, settle down, and view Shine. Please remember that it may take a few minutes before the film rolls. Enjoy.